Good morning, good morning. This is Miss J.J. Diamond, Jackie Deja, Jacqueline Richardson. I got so many names I can't even remember half of the time. It's terrible, y'all. Ooh-wee. Anyway, good morning. First, we want to thank God for being alive another day. As I looked at the news with COVID, yesterday so far, and it was about 12 p.m., they said 2,000 and some odd people died from COVID yesterday. And that's not all the other people. That's a part of, death. We got people that was probably ill that passed away. People that might have been in an accident passed away all around the world. So every single day we just have to thank God that we have opened our eyes and been able to plant our feet to the ground. Okay, so you got to make sure you got to do that every single day. Let's check the weather here today in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
In Charlotte, it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Today, you can look for intermittent clouds with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 61 degrees.
Okay, we're going to have another nice day. And you notice it's getting hotter in the evening now because they're saying 61 degrees. Yesterday it was in the 40s or 50s at night, and now it's going up. So this is what I'm used to here in Charlotte, where, we pretty much warm, At first I couldn't take it. I wasn't used to all the heat. But, once you live in a place and get used to the atmosphere, you get used to it, and this is why when I went up north to Philly, I froze my buns off because my body is used to being warm most of the time. Even when I lived in Maryland, Maryland gets cold and it gets snow, but it doesn't be so cold to where you got to wear. It's not that New York City cold. It's not that Buffalo, New York cold. It's a totally different cold. I could walk around with layers on. I have on a T-shirt, my long johns, sweater, hoodie, and a jacket, and I'm good. And as it gets warmer during the day, I start to peel off some of that stuff, and I be good. So that's what I've been used to. So I went from being warm to warmer, moving down to Charlotte. But I could appreciate the heat now versus being cold. When see, that's the thing. And I bring it back to the Bible again. I always refer to the Bible because when you read these stories, I'm telling you, these stories, they have things that refer to life. So that's why I refer to it a lot. And I forgive me for it, y'all, but this is what I do. Just like they learn the difference between good and evil. I've learned the difference between, and this is new to me, cold and hot. Okay, even though it's hot in other areas, but New York gets summer. We be burning up there too. But it's different when you actually live in the South, and the atmosphere is totally different. So my body had to get adjusted, and now that it's adjusted, I can't take the cold anymore, It's really difficult for me. So y'all forgive me when I come up there and it's cold. That's why I'm waiting till the summer to come to New York. So I could be nice and warm and got all these clothes on. And it's a lot of work when you got to put on all them clothes. And don't nobody have time. Be wasted to be putting on all these layers of clothes. I need my gloves, I need my hat, I need my earmuffs. Oh my God, it'd be so cold in New York, y'all. That's a different type of cold. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes my body cringe. Anyway, today I want to talk about pedophiles. I need to talk about pedophiles. People that prey on children. And I was a child that was abused. And the man that abused me and my little brother, he was actually a pedophile. Okay, he preyed on children. You have all different kind, and the word sounds, real ugly, But you wonder why these people, yesterday we talked about demons, people fighting demons, and there's some demons out here. You got regular people, they fighting their regular demons, like I spoke about yesterday. We might have demons when it comes to food. We may have demons when it comes to drugs, but then you got some serious people out here that have some serious demons in them, okay? And pedophiles are one of them, okay? Very, very sick people, And I can't just to how they are able to fix their minds, how them demons, they allow them demons to take over so much that you will hurt a child, And some of them actually think that they're not even hurting anyone, We got people like, R. Kelly. He didn't think he was hurting anyone, And it's not what you do, it's how you do things, Now, in other countries, they have it where you can go to the parent and ask the parent, hey, I want your child. I'm willing to pay to marry your child, okay? And it's up to the parent to say, hey, I'm giving this child over because I can't take care of this child, whatever the case may be. But here in America, we do things a little bit different. In America, that is actually a crime, okay? Now, granted, they do have it where, and I'm going to tell y'all this story. When I was young and I got pregnant with Shaquana, my oldest daughter, I got pregnant with her. And y'all know I was in foster care. And foster care told me, okay, well, you're pregnant and what do you plan to do with your life, And, they had us doing things differently in the pregnancy home than, because I couldn't go to school anymore. Y'all know I used to go to King and they pretty much put me out. They didn't want no pregnant girl going to their school. And that's what I had to experience growing up. So I had to go to a pregnancy school and I lived in a pregnancy home. And I still went to school in the pregnancy home. It was pretty much like homeschool, but we still had a teacher. But she came to us. So it was a little bit different, than what people go through today. They accept it today when they didn't accept it too much back then. One day I'll tell you the stories that I had to go through in King, of things that the gym teacher said to me, some of the teachers said to me because I was pregnant. I went through a lot, mentally for people to say these things to a child. But we'll get to that one day. I'll talk to y'all about that one day. But anyway, long story short, so my worker had asked me, she said, you ever think about getting married? And I'm like, well, at the time I was 15, I'm only 15 years old, marriage. I never thought about that. So I brought it to my mom, and my mother said, well, Jackie, you are young and, what do you plan to do? Do you plan to make a family, So then I brought it to my baby daddy and, then he brought it to his mom and they all felt like it was the best thing to do because we were so young, However, both of the parents, took us down to City Hall to get the papers filled out. They agreed to it. But they agreed to it because these were two young people. They made a mistake, I'm not saying my daughter was a mistake because I love her to death. But we were both young and they felt like we needed to make a family. So that's why they agreed to it, okay? Not on the factor of him being older than me, and because he was 1 year older than me, but he was still young, or him being an adult already, and I'm a child, it wasn't that type of deal. But New York New York, well, yeah, it happened in New York, but I'm going to say the United States does have rules where if there's two consenting children that, they're having a baby and the parents would like them to get married, they can sign off on that. Okay. However, we wound up not getting married, but we did get the paperwork and both parents agreed to it. But the point that I'm trying to make here is it was consented, okay? And it was consented because we had a baby. We made a human being. That's why it was consented, okay? Now, in other countries, they consent to this stuff because they can't take care of their kids. You know, they train their children to pretty much become a wife, okay? Just like I was trained to become a wife, but not by an older man that just wants someone to cook, clean, and for him to jump in the bed with whenever he feels like it, okay? A lot of y'all seen Color Purple. Y'all see how that went down, you know. And there's a couple of other movies out there that show y'all, you know, how they did that stuff in the South, and it wasn't appropriate, but they still did it, you know. Me personally, you know, being a child that's been through abuse and had to actually live with a pedophile, you know, and be abused by this pedophile. My brother lost his life by this pedophile. I'm very weary of men being around my kids. You know, I'm just honest with y'all. This is something that I'll carry with me, this trauma for the rest of my life, you know. And I'm going to tell y'all something that happened to me yesterday. I'm at the store, and this young boy, he kept, you know, pacing back and forth. You know, he's doing his job or whatever, just in case somebody need help. And y'all know my little Egypt goes with me to work. And she dropped the skinny thingy. I don't know what they call it, but, you know, the thing that you scan and stuff with at the store. She dropped it. And this guy ran over to her. You okay? Is everything okay? And I looked, and I'm like, young boy. He was a young boy, though. But my baby's only 11, you know. And I saw him watching her as he was pacing back and forth. And I kept saying, well, what is he looking at? You know, my baby is kind of big, you know. And she has that cute little baby face, you know, especially when she smiles. But I'm saying to this dude, do you want me to uppercut you? What are you doing? I know she might look like she's 15, or even if she was. You're an adult because you have a job here. So I know you're an adult. Get up out my baby face before I cut you. You know, and that's just the way I thought about it. You know, and I looked at him, and he seen the look. I guess I gave him the look of death, you know. And he went on about his business, and I was like, you know, I wasn't going to say nothing. I wasn't going to make no scene. I'll give you a look of death to let you know I'm coming for you. You know what I mean? So, you know, he went on about his business, and I brought my little baby on. You know, just like I had told you about the other day, I took the girls to the mall. And see, all my little girls now, they starting to get big. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at them, and they getting big, and they all pretty and everything. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I got to go out with these girls. It was different with the boys, you know, boys. Whew. But the girls, this is a lot of work, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why I got to keep my mind straight, you know. I'm at the mall, and I'm standing like a bodyguard, you know. And I'm like, okay, y'all get your stuff. Go ahead. Y'all ready? All right, go. Okay, I'm ready. I'm looking, you know. I'm like a bodyguard to these girls, you know. And they're like, okay, we ready. And then they gone, you know. And I'm walking behind them, you know. I'm looking because I might have to cut somebody. Because it's a lot of pedophiles out here. Okay? And I realize that. And I see it on a daily basis. Where these guys, they look for these young girls. Okay? And I got them all different sizes and shapes and colors. And, okay? So, you know, it's stressful, y'all. Anyway. The thing I want to get to is what's in these people's minds, okay? It's a little bit different from a rapist, okay? A rapist wants sex, and they're going to grab somebody, they're going to prey on them, grab them, rape them, whatever the case may be. Sometimes some of them do it instantly. You know, they don't have to prey on them. Be around. Excuse me. Allergies bad this morning. They could just be around them and not even prey on them and think that that you may want them and rape them. Okay, it's two different things. Then we have the pedophile that will prey. You know, call them pedophile hunters. You know, they look for kids to molest and rape and sell and whatever they possibly can do to hurt this child. Okay. And we wonder, and I've always wondered, okay, and this is something that never leaves my mind, what a pedophile thinks. Okay. How does these demons react in his soul? That he can't fight the prey of a child wanting to rape and molest a child. A child is innocent, okay? Yeah, some of them is bad now, some of them even cursing. You know, I'm looking on the TikTok and then the kids are saying all kind of things. And I'm like, ooh, that's why we got to do better. We got to do better about because these kids are born smarter today. So they're picking up things easy, you know? So that's why we got to do better. When I say do better, meaning watch what we do. No, we're not perfect. But we got to try to change and try to be almost perfect. You know, somebody had asked me one day, what type of person are you? I said, almost perfect. Almost. I ain't perfect, but I'm almost. Okay? And that person know who they are. But I say that to say because when you got babies, you have to be. You got to watch your steps. You got to watch your move. You got to watch everything you do because they are going to mimic you. They're going to do it. And then they're smarter. So with them being smarter, they got all these baby milks with all these different vitamins now, you know. And you see, back when I was coming up, I had to drink goat milk. So I had regular, you know. That's probably why I was anemic because, you know, it didn't have the iron that was needed in there. And I've been anemic all my life. I kept saying, well, how did I become anemic? I was always wondering. You know, you look at these things as you get older. You know, how did this happen to me? Why? And I said to myself, you know, I used to drink goat milk. So I didn't have formula and nobody gave me iron medicine because I guess they figured I didn't need it, you know, back then, you know. So that's why I had anemia. You know, but nowadays they got all this formula, they got all of this vitamins in it, and oh gosh, and then they got extra little vitamins that you could buy on the side if the baby need more than what's in the can, you know. So these babies are smart. You hear me? And they be picking up things, and you say to yourself like, how did you learn that so quick? You know, it's like I had to do a test with my little junior. He seen me working on some things with the tools, right? Now, y'all know, they say that doing stuff with tools is for boys, but that's not true. Women do tools, women play basketball, sports, women do a lot of things, you know, but they always look at us because we do these things because it was always said that men had to do these things. The women that do these things are boyish. It has nothing to do with me being boyish. I'm a woman, you know. But I like the science of it. I like to fix things. This is what I do. I grew up in a household with, and once again, I tell y'all again, my uncles that were from the military, and I hung out with them a lot, you know, because my aunt, she didn't go out much. So my uncle, when you got a child, you got to give him air. You got to take him out and do things with him. And my uncle didn't take me to the park, but he would take me to fish. He would take me on trips. He would show me how to fix things. He even showed me how to smoke meat. Okay? So, it's not that I'm boyish. I was trained by a man. And a man doesn't know how to teach a woman how to be girly. But I'm glad I'm not girly because I can help myself. And that was his main goal. He said, you would never need a man for anything. Okay? You'll be able to help yourself. And that was his main goal. Okay? That's why it's very important for a girl to have a male figure in the home. It's very important. Now, I want to go back to these pedophiles. How do we know when we're around a pedophile? Is it in the eyes? And I believe so. We have to watch the eyes. The way a person looks at you. But then when you're looking at a child, you got to think about a child's perspective. Now, a woman, or say a teenage girl, that's been out there with maybe a few boys or whatever the case may be, she may know that look. But a little young child, when I say young, I mean 11, 12, 13, they may not know that look because it's all new to them and they're learning. So how do we teach these girls about these pedophiles? I haven't gotten an answer yet. So what I do is I just keep my daughter close to me. I try to keep it close to me. Try to keep the girls close to me. So they won't have to identify a pedophile. I'll do it for them. But how do we know when they're ready to be released on their own? That's the question, And it bothers me because I want to be able to release these girls to be able to go in the next couple of years out on their own to the malls, to the movies and whatever the case may be. But how do we release them? Knowing that there's pedophiles out here. Well, thanks to TikTok, shout out to them once again. They're learning what a pedophile is, okay? Well, one, thanks to my generation, and we're teaching these kids, they made R. Kelly the target of a pedophile, okay? So the kids didn't actually know what a pedophile was, so they learned through that story, Shout out to whoever put that movie or documentary on TV. Shout out to you. And may you get all blessings for that because now these new generations know what a pedophile is. Okay. A lot of them didn't watch the story, but it was everywhere. They even noticed that they don't even play the music anymore because this particular person was a pedophile. Okay. So big up to y'all for that, Allow your kids to learn these things. Even if you don't know how to explain it to them. People are now putting their stories out there so people can understand what is needed for this next generation to protect themselves. Okay? Now, when you look at the story about R. Kelly, okay, and Aaliyah, okay, and God knows how many other females. My theory was, okay, R. Kelly says he didn't do it. He's not. He felt like he wasn't a pedophile, whatever the case may be. Okay, so it was suicide. Now, my theory was, okay, if you felt like you wasn't a pedophile, why was it you couldn't stand to these parents and say, hey, I like your daughter, she's almost 18. We've had sexual contact. I want your forgiveness, but I'm also asking her hand in marriage. So that way, they could have made that decision. But R. Kelly didn't think that far. Okay? Because she was almost 18. My other thing is, why do we allow our daughters to just roam free? That's my other thing. Now, if I knew that my daughter's in music, and she said, "Ma, I ran into such and such celebrity, and he wants to work with me to make some music." My first thought, and I'm going to just tell you my first thought, and this is, you got to remember, I've been in the entertainment industry for many, many years, so I know things that other people may not know. But my first thought would be, I'm going with you. I will be on scene. Do your thing, but I'm going to be over here. Pretty much how, y'all remember watching, What's Love Got to Do With It? Ike and Tina. And Tina mama was always on scene. She didn't like everything that was going down, but she was always on scene. Hold on, wait a minute. I got to see what's going on, okay? Y'all remember that scene where she was like, wait a minute, why you got my daughter singing like that? What do you mean, rougher? Got my daughter sounding like a man. Rougher. She was going off. See, that's the type of mother I am, okay? I mean, even though Anime's Rougher was the hit, but the point that I mean is mommy was on scene because she wants to see what is going on, okay? Even though she had already slept with Ike, and she was grown. She was grown, okay? And the point that I'm trying to make is when your kids are growing, and I mean from age, say, even 11, 12, you, all the way up until maybe 25 to 30, you are still responsible for the knowledge that your children have and know. Even if they don't want to hear it, you have to tell them, whether they like it or not. Okay? You have to tell them what you see. Okay? They may hate you for the moment. You let them hate. You say, oh, whatever. Go on your way for right now. You'll come back and tell me the facts on what you seen that I seen. Because I'm a mother, been through this thing. And I'm here to protect you. These demons that these pedophiles possess, I've been all my life, y'all. I've been fighting this battle of trying to understand what made this man want to sexually abuse a baby, And you still get these things. I'm still hearing where men are still sexually abusing babies. What type of demon is this? I just can't get it. I just can't get it. How can you hurt a precious baby? Like I said, some of them, they be bad and they act up, Like my little junior, he rough, my fault, I taught him how to fight, And I take responsibility for that. I have no other choice because I'm fighting demons as well, about people touching my kids. I've been, y'all see how this has affected my life. What this man has done to me and my little brother has affected my life. I told all my kids to fight, fight. Help yourself. Because when that man threw me down to rape me and was pulling off my clothes, I was fighting. And I fought long enough until my grandmother walked through the door. Okay? He had already pretty much killed my brother. So now it was my turn. My brother couldn't fight. He was a baby. He was 2. He didn't know what was being done. He has no real power. He's a 2-year-old. All you got to do, a person can take a 2-year-old and just hold him down, and there's nothing they can do because you're bigger than them. So why? What is it that you possess in your body to want to hold down a child and sexually abuse them? What is it? That demon is it's giving me chills, y'all, just thinking about it, So, I like I said, I feel guilty, and forgive me, anyone that gets hit by my grandson, forgive me, just y'all think about me, Jackie taught him this mess. Yeah, told him to protect himself. Anytime he felt he was in fear, bust his head, I had got a call from his dad one day. His dad said, "Ma, this baby is over here beating us up." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I trained him. I trained him that to protect himself. But then I was in the process of retraining him. I didn't get the chance to finish retraining him. I was in the process of retraining him. You just can't hit anybody and everybody. When you feel like you're being attacked, I was in that process, but he was stripped away from me again. So I couldn't train him fully on how you don't hit because now he's at an age where he understands a little bit more. So he's at the age where I was able to talk to him more and he understand, No hitting unless you're being attacked, unless somebody is doing something to you. And he was getting a little bit of it, but he still had that every now and again. He wants to hit somebody, And like I said, I'll take responsibility for that because I was in the process of training him to protect himself at the age of 2 because of what I went through. Okay? And you see how there's domino effects that can go on and on and on. But sometimes we need that because there is really people out here that will prey on kids and prey on babies and prey on little girls. I was so mad yesterday. And it's crazy. I saw these 2 little Spanish girls. We want our daughter. I'm big on sundresses, y'all. I am big on sundresses. Always been, I kind of pulled back from them because the men be looking too hard sometimes, because when you wear them sundresses, your booty shake a little bit different, because it's loose, and I pretty much stopped wearing them because of the attention I get, especially here in Charlotte, so I stopped wearing them. Unless I'm with my significant other, then I might wear a sundress because he's there with me. But, like her father came and said to me, like, is she going to put on some sundresses? Because he's used to me putting sundresses on her. But she's always with us. Okay, well, she's not always with us now. And I had seen some little girls yesterday. Oh, they were so cute. Hispanic girls. They were so cute. They had their little braids. Their mother had put their braids up and like a ponytail, cornrows. And they had their little sundresses on and their little sandals. And they look so good. They look so cute. And all I could think about is a pedophile trying to hurt them. And then, wait a minute, it got so bad where their father, there was no mother, it was just the father. But they would look so cute. And I'm looking at him. And I'm like, you better not be touching him. This is what I'm saying to myself, And I'm like, and one was running off and he went and grabbed her. He didn't yell at her. He was like, come on, come here. Where you going? You can get hit by the car. And I was like, okay, well, he's watching them good. Okay, and I was looking at him and I said, they dressed pretty cute. Their hair wasn't freshly done. So that their mom braided their hair so they don't have to do it much, And that's the other thing about Hispanic people. They don't get it, Not all Hispanics have good hair. Okay? And I'm one of them, because I'm half and half, And evidently, they may be half and half, too. You can see the little curls, but that stuff get rough, okay? Just like my little junior, He Hispanic, too, and he that stuff can get rough. And you like, oof. How? But you put a little water on it, and it's back to normal. Okay? That's how our hair works, with water. Soften that thing up. But anyway, like I said, they were so cute, but I was saying in my mind, like, oh my God, I don't want nobody to hurt these little babies. Because they look so cute. They walking with their little dresses. I saw another one. She had her little straw hat, but she was with her mom's. She had her little straw hat. She looked so cute. She had her sundress, her little jellies. I had jellies back in the day, so I could recognize her little jellies. She had her little jellies on and her little sundress and her little straw hat. I said, she is doing it with her little straw hat. It was a beautiful thing to see all these little girls in their little sundresses. And I used to be one of those. I used to be one that always had on a dress, sundress, because my grandma Doris Shield was big with that, because she would make them for me. So she would make the sundresses for me. And I would always look really pretty and really cute with my little two puffy ponytails. And I did the same for Egypt. But I'm at the point now, like, do I really want this girl in sundresses? Because of these pedophiles, somebody coercing her mind and trying to steal her away from me? Oh, no. It's something to think about, ladies, mothers, dads. Something to think about. Because they will do it. Okay? Play with their minds. Let me tell you something. My daughter was on Roblox. This is how I found out about all the stuff on Roblox. She was on Roblox, and I got on Roblox. I said, I got to get on Roblox. I got to see why she wants to be on Roblox. So I got on Roblox, and set up an account, let the people know that I was the mom. I'm doing my own little thing in the game. But I said, yeah, you can tell them your mama's in here. And they said, oh, that's your mom. They want to be cool now, stuff like that. But I wanted to make sure that my daughter wasn't being coerced by some man in the game. Okay, because that's the thing that we went through in the last era. So I had to do my parent duties and be a part of it. Same with TikTok. That's why I'm on TikTok. She see what I see what she see. Even though they separate the older people from the younger people, sometimes we get to see the younger people, but on the For You page, they know you're older, so they show you mainly the older people, and then on her For You page, they may show her the younger people, but then sometimes she may see me on her For You page, and she'll be like, Ma, I saw you on my For You page, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I do know that they mix it up every now and again, but this is why I get on these apps, so the people will know that my daughter's not alone. They know. And this is what we have to do sometimes, take that extra step to watch our children and watch the people that they're around. And sometimes that pedophile can be a family member. Okay? You trust sometimes, you can trust people. Hey, do me a favor, can you watch so-and-so, 2 kids, whatever, while I go to work, or while I do this, and while you do that. And the next thing you know, years later, your child is telling you that they've been molested or been raped or, something of that nature. It's a hard thing to bear, to know that your child has been touched. Very hard thing to bear, And this is why I am the way I am. I'm very overprotective of my kids, boys and girls. I was so overprotective, with Jair. It was unreal, And then when he got out there and started doing his own thing, I'm like, oh God, holy nothing happened. Nobody is coercing this child to do it, But I had to eventually let go, and hope and pray that he knows better. And nobody won't coerce him into doing something that I don't want him exposed to mentally. You have to learn. We have to learn, not you. We have to learn how to figure out when we are in the presence of a pedophile. We have to find a way. I haven't figured it out yet. And it's going to be difficult. Okay, we talk about the human trafficking. We have ways to make sure that the kids are not snatched. We keep the kids with us. But a pedophile will play with the mind of a child. So how do we prepare our children for that? And I'm asking anyone out there that knows something, that we could present, and I could do some studies on, to present to my people, feel free to send it to me. And my email address is deja0717 @ymail.com. That's spelled D as in dog, E as in E, J as in Jack, A as in apple, H as in hat. 0717 @ymail.com. Okay? For those that know anything that we can teach and show our children, other than just them knowing that a person is older than them, how do they get away? Or how do they recognize it? The good thing is that the kids today, being that they brought the R. Kelly thing up, the kids today is kind of, they're watching, And my daughter had told me yesterday about something. She killed me the way she'd be talking today. Oh, he's a pedophile. She's this age and he's that age, and they got a few. They feel like they have a few pedophiles in their era right now, so they're working on that, But we need to know that even though y'all recognize the age difference, how do you know when you're being preyed upon? Even though a person is older than you, and then you don't get attacked or they start playing with your mind. Okay? So you can tell somebody or ask God for coverings and clarity. How do we know? That demon is a very strong demon, And I personally will probably hurt something if I find out that it's been done to my child, just because of what I've been through. And this is why I keep my kids close to me, so I know they okay. I'm able to sleep at night knowing that they okay. Okay. It's a hard thing to bear, people, and like I felt the pain of some of the girls that R. Kelly had taken away from their families. I felt their pain. That's why I couldn't watch the whole story, because I just put myself in their shoes, And I said, if I had to look for my daughter because some man coerced him, when I find him, they're going to have to put me in jail because I will kill him. It ain't going to be no, what's that saying? Me threatening. I'm going to act because of what I've been through. And this is one of the reasons why we have to watch what we do, because we put these demons on other people's families. You're torturing not just that child, you're torturing the whole family. So if you're a pedophile and you're listening right now, think about what you're doing. You're tormenting generations upon generations. It's a domino effect. And this is why when they go to jail, they torture them. They torture them big time. Oh, you a pedophile? Oh. That's why Kelly was crying and he was saying, oh, they doing this to me and they doing that to me. Yeah, because you're a pedophile. Where was your brains at? What, you wasn't thinking? You couldn't wait till the girl turned 18? You got all these women out here throwing, this is something my brother used to always say. Shout out to my brother. Throwing, I can't say the word, the P word, out of each pants leg for free. But you want to prey on a young person. Why? You deserve to be tortured in jail. So if you're a pedophile, or you even had those thoughts in your mind, you need to talk to God. You need to talk to somebody. Okay? Fast before you act. Because the end result, if you get caught, is going to be torture. Because we are trained killers. This is what has happened. Even in the Bible days. You did something majorly wrong. We're here to torture you. Okay? Because you tortured the generation of many. This is why pedophiles get tortured. Not everything in the Bible is good. But they give you the stories of why certain things turn bad. So, I say it again, for those that's listening, my teens that's listening, or my young adult fellas that's listening. If you ever had in your mind, because we could all think things, but as long as we don't react. If you ever had in your mind, you looked at a young girl and you said, oh, damn, I like her. I'm going to try to coerce her into being with me. Just wait until she's an adult. Just wait. Be patient. Let her make the decision if she wants to be with you. Because there's somebody out here for everybody. It may take you a while to meet somebody out here for everybody. It has been proven. Even disabled people get children. Mates. I've seen attached twins have mates. You know? So it's somebody out here for everybody. You just got to go in the circle that you're in. You know? But it's no reason to just play with the mind of the young. You know? Just wait. Be patient. You know, that's they have guys every day that tell you, you know. Like, I remember when I was young, guys tell me, I couldn't wait till you grew up. I wanted to talk to you. And I'm like, I look at you as a big brother or an uncle or a father. Nope, get out of here. They have to respect it. Like, damn, well, at least I tried. But then there's some girls that may say, well, you know what? I looked at you as an uncle back then, but now I see you as a man. So, let's get it popping. But they're grown by that point. Just be patient. There's no reason to put yourself in that cycle of being tortured at the end because you have done this evil, disgusting thing. Because even if man don't torture you, God will. It's a lot. And this is the other thing. You know, this is why they brought out about Generation X. Whether people know it or not, drugs, man-made drugs, have a lot of side effects. And some of them side effects is it messes with your hormones, which will make you want to be sexually active. And being on the med, you can't control your thinking, you know. And this is why we're fighting every day to get people off of medications, okay? It's not that we don't want to be healed, you know what I mean? With the mentally, you know, they claim that, and it's crazy because back in my era, they didn't have ADHD, they didn't have autism, they didn't have all of this medications and stuff to retrain the mind hormonally and balance it. They didn't have all of that. We had to do it ourselves. So if we had a mental issue, we had to work it out ourselves. It was no coming out the doctors with a prescription. Okay? When my little brother died, I told him I couldn't sleep. They said, well, try your best. I was sleepwalking. There was no medicine, nothing. Drink some tea. That's what they told me. Drink some of the chamomile. Relax you and put you to sleep. This is what we did. Drink some tea. There was no popping no pill every single day. Because of the side effects. These people now today are doing things that's like unreal because they're on these medications. I mean, don't get me wrong. People did it back then too. Without medication. I'm talking about them demons, them pedophiles. They did it back then because I was in that world as well. But The point that I'm trying to make is the man that did that, he was on drugs. He was actually on dope. So what was in that stuff to make that man's mind say, I'm going to rape these kids. I'm going to torture them. What was in his mind? So these are the things that we have to pay attention to in this world, especially today. The way things are going, more and more kids are going out to work, younger, because now they got them, they can work at 14, because parents are struggling, parents are working 2 jobs, so they can't be at home and teach their children the things that's needed to protect themselves, and not only to protect themselves, to protect, their little ones around them. Meaning siblings, or when they grow older and have their own children. These are the things that we have to pay attention to. Especially where there's more and more people on drugs. Because it's not just the street drugs now. We have the medical drugs that people are on. And it's giving them the same effects. So we have to pay attention to these things. I had took my grandson, he was on meds. I took him on meds. In the beginning, I put him on the meds because he was just so wild. And I was going to buy him a baby leash, a toddler leash. Everybody went off on me. Oh, you going to walk around with the child like he a dog, blah, 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 blah. I'd rather walk around with him like a dog, okay, with his little leash on, than to have him on meds and it really mess him up, okay? Now I'm walking around with a child that was like a dope fiend because I gave him meds and I listened to everybody else.
This is a reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, thank you. Alexa, volume down to 10%.
This is a reminder.
Oh, here she go, y'all. Alexa, volume down to 1%. Okay, that way we can't hear her. She'll just talk.
I'm reminding you.
We can still hear her. Alexa, volume down to 1%. In other words, I don't want to hear you. Okay. I got to remember to eat, though. Then, like I was saying, then he was like a dope fiend. So I said, oh, no. Can't deal with this. So I took him off the meds. This wasn't affecting him right. And as he got older, I put him back on meds. And everybody was saying to me, oh my God, he looked like a dope fiend. I said, I know. He said, Mama, I don't like these meds. I said, don't take the meds. Don't take the meds. But you got half of the world believing in everything that the doctor give you is the best thing. Then you got the other half of the world to say, I ain't taking that. We try to deal with it the best way we can. But sometimes some of these meds make us worse than better. And then a lot of these meds also play with your mind. Because you got to remember, if they diagnose you with something, right? And this is mentally. And this is why I need y'all to pay attention to what y'all do when y'all want to go out and act crazy. Are you really crazy? Because if you're not, don't play crazy. Because they will give you some meds to where your brain will be crazy. Okay? And this is just facts. When you start messing with the balance in the brain, okay? Now, everything has to be at a balance, even inside your body. Okay? This is why we go to the doctor and they take the blood and we see what's going on with our blood. Are we high in sugar? Are we high in salt? Are we high in cholesterol? What's going on? So we know how to balance that stuff out with a medication. But with the brain, you can't take a blood test to see where the levels are at in your brain. So that's just a doctor diagnosing you. But how about if he has the wrong diagnosis? And then give you some medication that's for something else. And it makes you worse. Because it wasn't the right medication to help the balance in your brain. Okay? So, this is why we need to pull back from that. And we need to learn to express ourselves, to these doctors. Learn to express ourselves as if you're a child to your parent. Just like how my grandson and mama, I don't like this way this stuff make me feel. So I said, okay, son, get rid of it. Drink a lot of water. Let's detox. And he knows how to do it. He'll get him some Gatorade and drink lots of water. He get it out of the system. His biggest thing is he has anger issues and that runs in the family, and he has ADHD too. So, he's fighting two things. But I had to fight it. I had to learn how to deal with it, how to cope. And sometimes when we have to learn how to cope, it's difficult, but we get through. Without our minds playing tricks on us, making you feel some kind of way that you don't even understand yourself. It makes you afraid, But that's totally different than these people that's pedophiles. They prey on this thing. They sketch it out like how they gonna do it. Just like the dude that was pacing up and down the floor watching my daughter. And then as soon as she dropped something, he was at her beck and call. And I watched the whole thing. I told you I've been always watching. The eyes give information. Okay? You can seek information, watch information. It's eyes. It's a gift and a curse. To know what's good and what's bad. And that's why God didn't want Adam and Eve to know there's no good and bad. Because it's actually a gift and a curse. I'm pretty much done with this podcast today. I just wanted to throw that out there. This is not Africa and the rest of the countries. We don't marry off our kids. And for those that do, you go and move to Africa. And I think that y'all will be sick. I personally think that. That's just my opinion. I'm not marrying off my child to no man for nothing. I will go out there and shovel shit, excuse my language, to take care of my daughter before I marry her off to a man. Okay? No. And that's just what it is. Now, for those that have that belief, oh, well, this is what we do, that's your theory. Okay? But my theory is different. And I'm an American. So I'm not marrying off my child. But those that may thought I would. That's a no-no. And if I see you come close to it, we got problems. Okay? I just think I'll just make that public, so they'll understand. Because that's my baby girl. That's the last, my baby girl. As she get older, she did ask me, Mommy, when can I date? I told her maybe 17, She looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, I can't date at 15. No, because I don't want you to be like Mommy and have babies. She said, but I want babies. But I know you want babies, but I want you to do it when you're older. After you have done what you're supposed to do for yourself, to take care of yourself. I want you to be like your brother. I want you to be like Day Day. And that's what I tell him. I want you to be like Day Day. We'll get his job, his car, he can get in my house. Then he can go out and meet a woman. And now they can have babies and do whatever they want to do. Because he can take care of the woman that he wants to be called his wife. Not to just have a baby just because you're lonely. Or because you want something to love. So, we got to have these talks with our teens, y'all. Because we don't know where their minds are. So we got to make sure we talk to them. We got to make sure, especially the girls. Because we need more and more girls, females coming up that's strong. We call them strong because they have went through the struggle. But let's call them strong because they avoid the struggle. They were strong enough mentally to say, hey, no, not me. I'm not going down that road. Nope. That's what I want to call strong. Those that can say, I don't want to go down that road. I want to make sure that I can do X, Y, and Z because I don't want to go down that road. That's not the way God intended it to be. And I'm not going down that road. You're not going to make me go down that road because everybody else is doing it. And now I got to fight mentally and physically. And I got to stay up days and days to make things happen. No, I don't want to go down that road. Those are the kids I want to see in the next era. I'm not using drugs. I'm not having babies young. I want to get me a job. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to save my monies. I'm going to refrain from buying $200 and $300 shoes. I'm going to refrain from buying $100,000 cars. I'm going to get me a house, pay it off, so it can be mine. Can't nobody ever take it from me. That's what I want to see in the next era. Because they're going to make mistakes. But it won't be big, big, big ones like we've made. Having all these babies that we can't barely take care of. And now we got to sacrifice to the bitter end, blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that these kids is good. I told you about the man that went in the store and took the gallon of milk. He sacrificed his life for his kids. He said, I need milk. I ain't got no money. My babies want milk. Either I'm going to get this milk or I'm going to jail today. You see what we go through as parents? So we don't want the next generation to suffer like that. We want them to do it right. So, of course, some is going to probably make that mistake because their parents are not teaching them. But best to believe, Miss J.J. Thomas is going to teach hers. Am I going to be successful? I don't know. But I will teach her. And all of the little girls that be around me, they kill me. They be like, I want to be like Miss Jackie. She always getting that money. She working. I want to work like you, Miss Jackie. They don't know I only work like this because I got kids. They don't know. And bills. They don't know. They think I just do it because, that's what's in me. No, I do it because I took on a responsibility. I took on a responsibility. Gotta have to take care of my kids. Gotta make sure they eat. Gotta make sure they got clothes. Gotta make sure that they don't have to ride the bus. And be subjected to things of other people's natures. I took on that responsibility. So you really don't want to be like Miss Jackie. You don't. Because Miss Jackie has sacrificed too much. So much for her children. And other people's children as well. You want to do it different than Miss Jackie. You want to learn to work and take care of yourself. But you don't want to have all these babies. Even though I had all my kids 10 years apart, 10, 12 years apart. That's why I did that. Because when I had the first baby, I told myself, oh my gosh, this is rough. Every time I go to the store, I got to buy two. Got to buy outfits for you and outfits for me. When I could have had two outfits for me. Then you want to have more, baby. 3. Now you got 3. You went from 1 to 3. And you're like, oh, now I got to buy 3 outfits. Nope, I can't afford to buy 3 outfits, so I buy the kids. Now I don't have nothing. If you want to have kids, you save. You save and you wait. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. They were slandering her. Oh, you're not a mother, blah, 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 this and that, and this and that. And she knew what she was doing. Why am I going to have all these babies? And I'm a performer. I could be here today, I'm going tomorrow, got to be on stage over here. Now she'll have a baby and she's sitting down. She could afford it because she put things in play before she had her baby. So shout out to her. I mean, she get all the blessings, that she deserved for waiting. You read in the Bible times. Yeah, I go back to the Bible, y'all. I'm sorry. Read in the Bible times. They didn't have their babies young. There was some people that had their babies at 140 years old. Back then things was different though. People lived longer because they ate better. Took care of themselves better. But they was having babies at 140 years old. Eve, I don't know how old she was when she had her last baby. But I know Adam was 690 because he lived to 900. I think he was, when they had Seth, they was in the 600s. So we got to look at these things. Why was the timing so different? They ate different. They didn't have much to worry about because everybody was doing things. And when things wasn't right, God came through and fixed it. Everybody had their kingdoms. They lived a certain way. And I got to look at that. And if they survived it, 800 and 900 years, why is it we can't survive it? We can't even make it to 100 half of the time. We're praising people that make it past 100 like, oh, you're a God. How did you do it? But it's all in this book. It's all in this book. And we got to pay attention. And we've been exposed to a lot of evil, which is tearing us down mentally and physically. Been exposed to too much evil. And now it's time to turn that evil to good. We ain't going to be able to turn it all. But if we can do majority of it, we'll get to start seeing people live in maybe 140, 160. Right now we're at, let me see, the oldest person in America right now is what, 120? So this is the things that we got to look at, you know. Shout out to a lot of the younger, rappers today. You know, matter of fact, the Baby is one of them. He brought to play, you know, in one of his songs, and he was like, you know, I want to live till I'm old. You know, I forgot what song it is, but he brought it to play, you know. Ain't nothing like getting old. Who wants to die young? Ain't nothing like getting old and seeing the generations change every decade. Ain't nothing like that. So we have to work on keeping our minds straight. We have to work on keeping our health straight. Raising our children properly. Discipline, patience. So we can live longer. No stress. That's what God intended. But everybody seems to want to have the stressful life. Why? I need to understand. Why do you want to have a stressful life? If it's bringing stress into your life, get rid of it. You know, that's just the way you do it. Well, this is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I'm finally ending this podcast. I said that about 10 minutes ago, but because I had something else to say. But y'all know how I do. I love you all. Y'all be safe. Enjoy this weather because it's getting warm everywhere. So y'all enjoy this weather. Continue to wear your masks. Try and stay 6 feet apart. It's hard. I know. You know, I even got old people. I'm looking at them like, you don't know what I got. And you just running up on me. You know, they just run up on me. Old lady yesterday. And then she turned around and looked at me. And I'm like, lady, I could have the COVID and give it to you. And you could die tomorrow. Why? You see how far back people are undisciplined? And it was an old lady. But she wanted some celery. She don't know about wanting that celery. That could have been the end of her life. You see how they're trained? So y'all continue to be safe out there until they say that this thing is over. We still have people dying on a daily basis. I know for millions and millions of people, 2,000 people dying in a day, it don't sound a lot off of a disease, but it is. You put 2,000 pennies on your bed and look how many pennies that is. So y'all continue to be safe. Wash your hands. Hand sanitize. Keep your hands out your face. Wear that mask. Continue to detox. Love y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow.